Hello? Hello? I'm enjoying myself watching the mimes serenade a Mario cosplayer, observing the round because I don't want to go shopping soon.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
But then I receive an offer I can't refuse. An uneventful science shift is interrupted by my Xenomorph larva poking its head out of a vent. Looks like I have a friend. In the meantime, I find a small closet-looking space in maintenance and I choose drone. Main reason is I haven't figured out how to use the alien hive mind command yet, but also drones evolve into queens. If one of us dies, I figure it'd be useful to have a backup to keep laying eggs. I'm not ashamed to admit that I had to A-help to learn how to use the hive mind channel. So now I'm back in touch with the alien queen. It looks like I won't be the one laying eggs for now. The queen is to the northeast of the station, and I reckon that the usefulness of the small nest I was building is now outlived. The queen has been busy. She already caught the head of personnel, therefore the hive score is 1. She leaves me to watch over him while the chestburster gestates inside him. When the hosts are captured, they're usually buckled into hive beds, but they can struggle free after a while. The queen tasked me to grab some facehuggers and find more hosts for our hive to grow. She tells me to stick to maintenance. Well, let's be real, it's go big or go home when you're playing on Tram Station. It's almost too perfect when I pry the airlock open. I nab the engineer who doesn't seem to be paying attention, and I try to take Mario down a size, but he artfully weaves his way around the facehugger minefield I laid. No matter. I'm happy to pick up one host, so I drag the poor sap back to maintenance. It's a bit awkward as I sit exposed while ripping open the airlock to make my escape, but I'm still in a good defensive position with the one facehugger in hand. I make good on my first escape with some prey. My score is now 1, contributing half of the hive's captured crew. The Xenomorph is a good homemaker. The first host already produced a new teammate for us who chose Hunter. Hunter is a much faster moving Xenomorph, but also can't evolve into queens. I explore north and I see a couple of chuckleheads in the bridge calling the shuttle. As a drone, I am not fast, so I rely more on positioning. I hug the corner and then sneak out to try to snab a new victim. My shot was not so great and the tram departs with an extra passenger. But I can scarcely believe that one of the shuttle callers just waltzes in front of me. Hello, dude. You know HR Giger monsters aren't safe to be around, right? A French silent type shows up to violate the bro code of the facehugger, leamorizing that engineer's face. It's time to rearm and get back to it. I see the hunter got one, putting the hive score at 3. This isn't looking so good. I'm feeling competitive, and that should have been me bringing in the third host. I catch the chief engineer off guard and drag him back towards maintenance. His friend interferes and ends up getting some too. It's too bad I only have 2 hands for dragging. It's back to the nest. I brought back a total of 2 hosts now, meaning I'm contributing about half of the hive's total. Not too bad, I gotta say. I meet that mime again. I run off to the ladder room. I'm poking around in maintenance when I see some Securabots chasing a perpetrator down the corridor. That brings the hive score up to 5 and reinforces that crime does not pay during a Xenomorph round. The janitor seems to be interested in cleaning up. The janitor gets some too. So my score is now 3 to the hive 6. Feeling pretty good. Our hive is off to a strong start. I venture back upstairs and encounter a botanist outside a med bay. First botany experience since the SS Botany Bay. The hive score now stands at 7, and I contributed 4 of that. Things are not going too well for the crew. I see another crew member in maintenance and I start hunting her. She gives me the slip upstairs before I can do anything. But anyway, I come across an assistant outside science. He does a pretty good job of dodging my facehuggers. Really though, it's always just a matter of time before you get hit by one of them. But then he seems to disappear. I can't see him anywhere. I don't really know what to make of it. So I just smashed up the scanner in the science lobby. The tram delivers a new crew member to me. He does a good job of avoiding me as well. I leave him with a parting gift and go downstairs. Well, now we got a medical Borg patrol going on and they spot me. This could be bad. I manage to slip past the right-hand Borg and I sneak my way back to the hive. The hive has claimed its 8th host, a chemist. I contributed a strong portion of these hosts, but my rate has been slowing down, admittedly. I patrol maintenance and some cat PAI starts pointing me out to a shaft miner that I haven't even noticed yet. It's like a giant game of whack-a-mole. This doesn't seem like a sustainable game. I've had enough and walk out. I try to get this red dwarf looking guy, but he runs off down the tracks. The miner doesn't know when to quit and starts trying to hit me with a retractable baton. He's using cover well. I can't line up a throw on the miner. And he walks over the facehugger I threw. I put the quit in for him. The hive score is now 10, and I got 5 on it. Borg is still hunting me. Purple assistant guy appears briefly. I try to run away from the Borg, but I discovered the crew has walled off escape routes. Yes, I could have escaped a few different ways, but I was not quick thinking enough. I could have tried jumping off the platform. I could have tried crawling into a vent. In the end, I was pursued by the Borg and the assistant. And I made a fatal wrong turn in maintenance. Boxed in, I fought against the medical Borg. Though I did some damage, the Borg proved to be stronger than me in the slugfest. I was finally critted and the Borg kept sawing me. Soon I was finished, the end of my 5-host run. I continued to observe and saw a hunter take down an assistant. That brings the hive score up to 11. Now I'm just a crawly snake, unable to prevent the chief engineer from running off. But the chaplain was brought in as a host, so the hive score now stood at 12. When I was a ghost, I observed that the number of drones was still relatively small, only 1 or 2. I therefore planned to respawn again as a drone to continue being a backup queen option. A medical Borg wandered into our lair, and it ended up brawling with my friends. It was attempting to rescue the purple-haired assistant, but neither side seemed to make much progress towards the other. Medical Borg seems like an excellent option against the Xenomorphs. A Borg, however, can only do so much when it is outnumbered and in narrow, confined spaces. Soon the Borg was cornered and deactivated. The assistant was brought in and the hive score was now 13. The mime was also finally brought in. The hive had 14 victims. I decided to return to my old fishing spot, but the fish done changed. This fellow wore a riot helmet and had a gun. I retreated to maintenance.
The emergency shuttle.
The chief engineer was toting guns down there. I wasn't safe. I took more bullets because I was blocked in by my Xenomorph comrades, passed by the 15th hive host being dragged in. The evac shuttle had arrived. It was time to colonize CENTCOM. I set to work helping infest the shuttle. I also built walls, because we needed protective structures to shield us from gunfire. I went back into the evac hall to try to fight some of the crew for control of the shuttle. The mime had escaped from the hive but still had an embryo, so the score count still stands. This wasn't really a defensible position against laser fire, so I put up a wall for shelter. Really, our whole strategy at this point was just to delay the crew's advance. I threw facehuggers to no effect. I was pushed out further from the evac hall, but did not have trouble retreating. Now we were encountering fire. I had to stop, drop, and roll. We started knocking out windows to depressurize the shuttle. There seemed to be a glitch that completely removed our healing xenomorph carpet. This was a steam cleaning that I did not order. We killed a crew member who got separated. Soon a flaming guy caught me on fire. He started shooting me too. That wasn't good. Facehugging was no longer a valid strategy. At this point it was a tooth and nail fight. I tried to finish off the engineer, but an energy Borg strapped him up, and then dropped him. Nice work, Borg. I tried planning more creep, but it didn't seem to work out. The mime was back for more, but ended up getting curb stomped. But I was stomped too. I was on my way out.
Attention.
And then I died. There were a few crew members who were basically critted. There was also that engineer Borg too. All in all, the shuttle looked pretty grim for the humans. And then I received another offer to respawn, so I took it. But it ended up being irrelevant. The hive ended up spawning 16 xenomorphs, so my count of 15 was not too far off.